Let's begin by breaking down exactly what procrastination is. At its core, procrastination is the voluntary delay of an intended task, despite knowing there will be negative consequences for this delay. In simple terms, it's when you put off what you know you should be doing, even though you're aware that waiting or avoiding it will make things harder in the long run. This can manifest in all areas of life, from schoolwork and office tasks to personal goals like exercising or starting a new hobby. You might think, "I'll do it later," only to find that later never comes. And in the meantime, the pressure builds up, and we end up feeling worse about not getting started. But here's the catch. Procrastination isn't just about laziness. It's an active choice to delay, and in many cases it's driven by emotional factors: fear, anxiety, and sometimes even perfectionism. These factors can be hard to recognize because procrastination often happens in the background of our lives, making it easy to dismiss or rationalize. But once you start understanding it, you can begin to address the root causes and find solutions. Why do we procrastinate? It's a question many of us have asked ourselves. Why do I keep putting things off? Well, there's no single answer, because procrastination can stem from different psychological and emotional reasons. Let's break down some of the main causes. 1. Fear of failure. One of the most common reasons for procrastination is fear of failure. This is especially true for big, important tasks. Maybe you're afraid that you won't meet your own expectations, or that the final result won't be perfect. So instead of facing that fear head-on, you avoid it entirely. This avoidance gives you temporary relief, but leaves you with even more stress and anxiety later when the task is still looming. The reality is that failure is a natural part of growth. But for many people, it feels safer to not even try than to risk falling short. And that's where procrastination comes in. It keeps you from taking action, protecting you from potential failure, but also from success. 2. Perfectionism. If you've ever thought, "I'll wait until everything is perfect before you begin," you might be dealing with perfectionism. Perfectionism is the belief that anything less than perfect isn't good enough. You might get stuck in analysis paralysis, overthinking every detail, and worrying that the final product won't live up to your high standards. The result? You delay starting altogether. In fact, perfectionism often creates a cycle where you don't even start the task because you're afraid of not doing it perfectly. Over time, this becomes a habit, and procrastination becomes part of your mental framework. Instead of focusing on progress, you become fixated on achieving perfection, which is unrealistic and often unattainable. 3. Feeling overwhelmed. Have you ever looked at a big project and thought, "This is too much. I can't handle it right now"? This sense of overwhelm is a huge contributor to procrastination. When a task feels too big or complicated, it can paralyze you into inaction. Instead of breaking it down into manageable chunks, you see the task as a massive mountain that's impossible to climb, so you avoid it entirely. This is especially true when you've been procrastinating for a while, and the task starts to feel more and more daunting. Instead of making progress, you might resort to distractions like social media or mindless browsing to escape the stress. 4. Poor time management. Another reason we procrastinate is poor time management. Many people struggle with estimating how much time a task will take, or they fail to prioritize their responsibilities effectively. This often leads to putting things off until the last minute, then scrambling to finish. When you don't have a clear plan, it's easy to get lost in the day-to-day demands of life and forget about the bigger tasks that need attention. Without clear goals or structure, procrastination becomes a default mode. You end up reacting to the day rather than planning ahead. This is one of the most insidious causes of procrastination because it often happens without us even realizing it. Until, of course, the deadline is looming and we panic. 5. Procrastination as a habit. Finally, procrastination can become a habit. Once you've put things off a few times, your brain starts to associate delaying tasks with a temporary feeling of relief. This is especially true if avoiding the task gives you an immediate escape or pleasure. Over time, your brain starts to rely on this pattern, and procrastination becomes the default response to any difficult or unenjoyable task. It's important to recognize that procrastination isn't a personality trait. It's a behavior, and like any habit, it can be changed. But that requires self-awareness, discipline, and a willingness to break the cycle. The consequences of procrastination. While procrastination might seem like a small issue in the moment, it has far-reaching consequences. It doesn't just affect your productivity, it can impact your mental health, relationships, and long-term goals. 1. Increased stress and anxiety. One of the most immediate effects of procrastination is heightened stress and anxiety. The more you delay, the more the pressure builds. You start to worry about the task, and as the deadline approaches, your anxiety levels spike. This can create a vicious cycle where stress causes more procrastination, and procrastination causes more stress. It's a pattern that can be hard to break unless you consciously choose to tackle the underlying causes. 2. Reduced productivity and quality of work. Procrastination also leads to reduced productivity. When you wait until the last minute to complete something, you don't have the time or energy to do your best work. This often leads to rushed, subpar results. Whether you're writing a report, preparing for a presentation, or studying for an exam, procrastination can negatively affect the quality of what you produce. 3. Harmed relationships. Procrastination doesn't just affect your work, it can also harm relationships. When you delay tasks that affect other people, such as meeting deadlines at work or taking care of family responsibilities, it can lead to frustration and tension. If you constantly procrastinate, people may start to view you as unreliable or lazy, which can strain your relationships over time. 4. Missed opportunities. Perhaps one of the most significant consequences of procrastination is the missed opportunities. When you put things off, you miss out on chances to grow, achieve your goals, or make important decisions. Every time you delay an opportunity, you risk losing the momentum that could lead to success. Whether it's applying for a job, launching a project, or pursuing a personal goal, procrastination can stand in the way of your potential. Procrastination versus laziness. It's important to note that procrastination is often confused with laziness, but the two are different. Procrastination is the active avoidance of a task, even when you want or need to complete it. It involves delaying, putting things off, or avoiding tasks due to fear, anxiety, or overwhelm. Laziness, on the other hand, is a lack of motivation to do anything. Laziness is a state of being disengaged from tasks altogether, whereas procrastination is specifically about putting things off or avoiding them temporarily. Understanding this difference is crucial because it helps us avoid the self-blame that often accompanies procrastination. Procrastination isn't a reflection of your character. It's a behavior that can be changed. In the first part, we explored what procrastination is, why it's different from laziness, and how it impacts our lives. Now it's time to dig deeper into the why. Why do we procrastinate? What's going on in our minds when we choose Netflix over our to-do list, or endlessly scroll social media instead of starting that important project? Understanding the root causes of procrastination is essential to overcoming it. If you're ready to get to the bottom of it, let's dive in. And remember, the 5 powerful tips to overcome procrastination are coming up, so stick around. While you're here, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Your support helps us create more content to help you crush your goals. Breaking the cycle of procrastination. Understanding the root causes of procrastination is the first step toward breaking the cycle. Now that we know why procrastination happens, we can start exploring strategies to overcome it. Before we dive into part 3, let's take a moment to reflect. Have you noticed any of these patterns in your own life? What triggers your procrastination? Fear, perfectionism, stress, or something else? Leave a comment and let us know. And the final part of our deep dive into procrastination. So far, we've explored what procrastination is and why we do it. Now it's time to tackle the most important part: how to stop procrastinating and take control of your time and goals. This part is all about actionable strategies and tools you can start using today. Stick with us until the end, because we'll share 5 game-changing tips to help you beat procrastination for good. These aren't just theories. They're proven methods that have worked for countless people. How to stop procrastinating. Strategies that work. Overcoming procrastination isn't about flipping a magic switch. It's about implementing habits, systems, and a mindset that gradually replace procrastination with productivity. Here are some of the most effective strategies. 1. Set clear, realistic goals. One of the main reasons people procrastinate is because their goals are vague or unrealistic. If you're not clear on what you're working toward, it's easy to feel lost and unmotivated. Here's how to fix that. Be specific. Instead of saying, "I need to finish this project," break it down into concrete tasks like write the introduction or complete the data analysis. Clarity makes tasks feel more achievable. Set SMART goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, instead of saying, "I want to get fit," say, "I will exercise for 30 minutes, 3 times a week, for the next month." Start small. If your goal feels too big, break it into smaller milestones. Achieving these smaller wins builds momentum and motivates you to keep going. 2. Create a schedule and stick to it. Time management is a critical component of overcoming procrastination. A solid schedule helps you structure your day and allocate time for your priorities. Plan ahead. Each evening, write down the top 3 tasks you want to accomplish the next day. Prioritizing in advance helps you hit the ground running. Time blocking. Divide your day into blocks of time dedicated to specific tasks. For example, reserve 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. for emails, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. 00 for deep work, and 1 to 2 p.m. for meetings. This minimizes decision-making during the day and keeps you focused. Use the Pomodoro technique. Work in focused intervals, usually 25 minutes, followed by a 5-minute break. After 4 intervals, take a longer break. This method reduces mental fatigue and keeps your attention sharp. 3. Overcome the fear of starting. Starting is often the hardest part of any task. Here's how to push through that initial resistance. The 2-minute rule. Commit to working on a task for just 2 minutes. Once you start, you'll often find it easier to keep going. Focus on progress, not perfection. Remind yourself that the first draft or attempt doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to exist. Once you've started, you can always refine and improve later. Visualize success. Picture how good it will feel to finish the task. Visualizing the positive outcome can motivate you to take the first step. 4. Eliminate distractions. Procrastination thrives on distractions. If your environment is filled with tempting interruptions, it's hard to stay focused. Declutter your space. A clean, organized workspace helps reduce mental clutter and keeps you focused. Turn off notifications. Silence your phone, close unnecessary tabs on your computer, and use apps like Focus at Will or Forest to minimize distractions. Set boundaries. Let others know when you're working and ask them not to disturb you during that time. 5. Build accountability. Sometimes having someone else to hold you accountable can be the push you need to stay on track. Find an accountability partner. Share your goals with a friend, colleague, or mentor who can check in on your progress. Knowing someone is watching can be a strong motivator. Use deadlines. Self-imposed deadlines can help you stay focused. Share them with your accountability partner to create an extra layer of commitment. Reward yourself. Celebrate small victories with a treat or break. Positive reinforcement helps build productive habits. 5 powerful tips to beat procrastination. Now that we've covered the strategies, here are 5 quick, actionable tips to help you overcome procrastination starting today. 1. Prioritize your most important task. At the beginning of each day, identify the one task that will have the greatest impact. Focus on that first before tackling smaller, less important tasks. 2. Use the Eat the Frog method. This concept, popularized by Brian Tracy, suggests starting your day with the hardest or most unpleasant task. Once it's done, everything else feels easier. 3. Leverage positive peer pressure. Surround yourself with motivated people who inspire you to take action. Joining a study group, mastermind, or productivity circle can help you stay accountable. 4. Track your progress. Keep a journal or checklist of your accomplishments. Seeing your progress can boost your confidence and encourage you to keep going. 5. Reframe your mindset. Instead of thinking, "I have to do this," try saying, "I get to do this." Shifting your mindset to one of gratitude can make even challenging tasks feel more manageable. Conclusion. Procrastination can feel like an unbeatable foe, but it's important to remember that it's not permanent. It's a habit that can be changed. By understanding the root causes and implementing the strategies we've discussed, you can break free from the cycle of procrastination and start achieving your goals. To recap, procrastination is deeply tied to our emotions, mindset, and habits. Strategies like setting clear goals, creating schedules, and eliminating distractions can help you stay focused. The 5 tips we shared can give you an extra edge in beating procrastination. Now it's your turn. Which of these tips are you going to try first? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We're here to help you grow, succeed, and become the best version of yourself. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.